So these are the petition regulations and rules, and it clearly states, right, that the formalities. This is the legislation. A petition on each sheet, on every sheet, right? It has to have the name of the authority to whom it's addressed, and the change in which is sought, right? That's on every single sheet, right? And the petition on each sheet contain the statement set out in the regulations and terms. So I don't think 38 Degrees are fulfilling all these obligations to start with in the first part, right? And to every person who signs it, right, they've got to give their name, right, the first name and surname, an address, and the date on which they sign. The address, right, is either their home address or an electronic form of communication. Why? So if the government need to contact them to validate the authenticity, it's for authenticity validation and to contact them about the petition. But the person, why have these things got to be contained on all the sheets? So we know which petition the signatures are referring to, right? And all the addresses, so we know who the people are. But I am the petitioner who is reading the petition has the right to all this information. Data protection does not intervene in the petition creator in their observations and viewing and checking of their own petition, because that's what's actually happened in this situation now, where I haven't even been able to monitor or check the emails. 38 Degrees as a third party cannot take my rights over the petition and responsibilities away from me simply for being a facilitator, a third party facilitator. 38 Degrees aren't running the petition. I'm running the petition. 38 Degrees are merely providing facilitation. They have no right at all whatsoever to withhold any of this information from me or separate it, right? The petition itself is one entire document. It cannot be split or separated, right? And on every single sheet, just in case any sheet gets lost or separated, that is why it has to say on every sheet to which petition it pertains to. So information doesn't get lost or separated, right? And when we're downloading the PDF and it doesn't have the emails on it, you are separating the main details and evidence and photos and request of the petition, right, from the signatories. Now, if those separate PDF sheets have all the details on each sheet or on the PDF, but you cannot actually, every single sheet that has the name and address on it, you cannot actually separate, you cannot remove the contact address from the sheet because it is incomplete, right? And if you remove the name from it, it would be incomplete, or the signature. Actually removing the signature or the address or name, right, when you download it, or also the person who's running the petition. 38 Degrees facilitates the petitioning in collaboration with the person who writes up and drafts the petition. And they actually have to be able to check it, because that is the situation what we've got into now, where there was no way online for me to look at it and monitor what was going on, right? The petition also, data protection only applies to commercial or recreational pursuits or private. As soon as it is politics, elections, referendums, and that's what this act is. This act covers referendums, petitioning, and elections because they're all political endeavours covered by the same law and regulations. And when you go door to door, the person collecting the signatures can see all the data and all the signatures and has to check it, right? Now, if someone's helping you do a petition, if a third party such as 38 Degrees is assisting, they are only assisting or facilitating a service. They don't have the right to, they're not actually running your petition, particularly when they're even refusing to help you on certain petitions unless they pick and choose which ones that they want to promote and fund, because that's bias. And that's what I've been saying the whole time. 38 Degrees, by actually withholding the emails, they're actually in breach of this legislation of the Local Petitions and Referendums Act. And any downloadable version, any downloadable copy of a petition which has been split up or had data omitted from it or withheld, right? Whether it's the person who's running it from me or the local authority when you hand it in, that's the reason, right, why we need to see it. Now, 38 Degrees has just said that, oh, we found some dodgy signatures and we're going to take it down. So if I would have been monitoring it, then there wouldn't have been any dodgy signatures on it because I'd have been able to see them. How can I see them? And also, it's my petition, and I've got a right to have access to that petition and the work on it and the evidence, not just the signatures. A petition might not even need any signatures, only one signature, my signature. In local councils, there is no set number of signatures to get an action on a petition, right? You need 3,000 for full council, but you can get an action with 10 signatures. You can get an action with 1 signature. Now, the evidence on the petition, videos, photographs, details, information by the person who signed up for it, right, who created it, it is their property and legal right of access, and a third party doesn't have a right to withhold it. And anyone petitioning the government with any evidence, you're petitioning for the chamber to hear the case, to inspect the evidence, to establish whether the evidence is legitimate or not. This bench is broken, right? If there's a bench that's broken, it might not be broken, but your evidence is a claim that it's broken. So if you get a petition in the chamber at council or even your councillor, the councillor evaluates it and decides whether the bench is broken or not and whether it needs fixing, and if how many people they think need to deem whether it should be fixed or not. If one person reports it, it might get fixed, or you might need 100, right? The same with the signatures. In fact, it's the council who have to check the signatures to validate them and why they need to see the emails. Now, what 38 Degrees are saying, 38 Degrees are trying to claim that, oh, if a council needs to check the signatures or see them, they can just contact us, right? So you're splitting the sheet up and you're trying to claim that, oh, well, our system has validated them and they've signed up, so they must be authentic. Well, your system is actually not that good after all. If I am responsible for the petition possibly being taken down, right, and withheld from me, then I must be able to see the signatures as they're coming on, or I'm not liable, and the petition's not liable, because it's 38 Degrees who are responsible for their thoroughness in checking it. And also, on the download forms, you know, you cannot split evidence. You cannot separate evidence or split it from the signatures, you know? It says here that all sheets have to contain the data, and once that data is on any sheet, the following information shall be given. Shall be given, right? And once it's on there, it can't be removed. Certain information has to be on every sheet, and certain information must be included. You cannot have a form You cannot provide a copy of the petition to the council with any data being removed off it, or to the person who's petition creator, the creator of the petition. Because it would be almost like me going round to the houses and them signing it, but certain information being invisible or not seen. It's the same rules and regulations as when you're collecting by hand on paper on the website, and that is why it is not under data protection. It's under petitions, referendums and elections. And all parties who are collecting the signatures must be able to see the data for these reasons.